Welcome, Hornet.
Greetings to your world.
Who are you?
I am the princess.
Am I correct in referring to you as she? Wow! That was incredible.
This needle has slain monsters many times my size.
Silksong's launch has been absolutely phenomenal. 535,000 current players.
Of course Team Cherry made me exactly this way. This cloak is a secret weapon of allure.
Called KFC.
How ironic. In Hallownest, birds snatch insects for their meals. Now an insect princess dines on a bird.
Is it true that you are the reason Rockstar delayed Grand Theft Auto 6? Welcome, dear adventurers and gamers, to a very special episode of our podcast. Today we're not in the studio, we're literally inside the Hatta caves. We've journeyed out here into these ancient mountains for a meeting that crosses worlds. Our guest is someone or something truly legendary, born in a kingdom far from our reality. Fans have been buzzing for years. And just not so far, one mysterious release has shattered launch records. Over 500,000 people playing simultaneously on day one. More than 5 million in the first weekend, eclipsing the peak from Battlefield 6 open beta. And the whispers, some say GTA 6 quietly nudged its own window rather than collide with the storm. It's the one and only
Hornet, if you hear me, we invite you to join us.
Wow, that was an entrance. Ladies and gentlemen, Hornet's here.
I am here. Greetings, Leroy, and greetings to your world.
Welcome, Hornet. Thank you for accepting our invitation. We are beyond excited to have you. For those who don't know, Hornet is a legend from the world of Hollow Knight. She's often called the princess protector of a fallen insect kingdom. Excuse me, am I correct in referring to you as she?
That is correct. I am a daughter of Hallownest. You may address me as you would any other woman, Leroy.
Understood. I just didn't want to assume in your realm. Beings can be quite unusual. In fact, some have even referred to you as the gendered child because unlike certain others of your kind, you are born with a defined gender. It's an important detail for us, meeting a creature from another world.
In my world, I am simply my mother's daughter and my father's child. Gender was a rare gift among my father's heirs. But yes, I am female, a fact that has shaped my fate in more ways than one.
We definitely talk about that fate. But first, I have to ask, how do you find our location? These caves around us.
This place, it reminds me of home, yet it is different. The rocks here are dry and ancient, without the skittering of bugs in every crevice. In Hallownest, the tunnels were alive, teeming with creatures, danger and song. Here, I sense silence. A peace, the stones whisper of many years. But no, they do not sing as mine do.
There is a kind of magic here though. When I first stepped in, I felt something, I don't know, otherworldly. Maybe that's what allowed you to cross into our world for this talk.
Perhaps. Caves can be gateways, under the right circumstances, and the veil between worlds does feel thin tonight.
That's interesting. Under what circumstances could this cave serve as a gateway? And why did you choose the spot for a meeting?
In a way, yes. The world I come from is the very earth beneath your feet, Leroy. It's the same realm, only on a scale you rarely notice. Think of it as a hidden microcosm woven through every forest and field around you. My Hallownest lies among your roots and stones, alive with creatures you might dismiss as mere insects. Every day, unseen societies thrive. Each leaf and dewdrop has life beneath it, lives I've sworn to protect. To you it might seem ordinary, but to me it's a tapestry of stories and souls. Listen closely. You might think this cave is silent, but when moonlight strikes the quartz and crystal here, they resonate like instruments, weaving a melody of the earth. To us, it is music, a gentle song of home. It carries the ancient tales of my people. When I step inside, I feel its rhythm in my bones, a lullaby calling me back. I cherish that song. That's why I chose this spot for our meeting. If more of your kind could hear its melody, perhaps they would understand we share one world. By drawing attention to this place, I hope humans will come to listen. Then maybe our two worlds can truly see each other. There is a universe at our feet, filled with heroes and legends just like in your tales. The story of Hallownest and its knights is not so different from your own. Through this cave and its song, I hope people will start to listen and begin to understand that our world is part of theirs.
Do you hear that, Hornet? It almost sounds like singing.
Silk and song. That is the music of Farloom, the distant land of my recent journey. This cave's breeze carries a similar tune. How fitting.
Falloon, yes. We'll come to that. We have so many questions from fans and myself about your adventures. But let's start from the beginning of our audience. Hornet, millions know you from the games, but imagine someone listening who doesn't. Who are you?
I am Hornet, protector of the ruins of Hallownest. In my homeworld, Hallownest was once a great kingdom of insects, now fallen to ruin and infection. I've been its guardian, fending off intruders, preserving its last secrets. By blood, I am the daughter of Hallownest's Pale King and Hera the Beast, queen of the spider tribes of Deepnest.
So you're literally a princess, born of a king and a queen.
By lineage, perhaps one could say so. My father was the Pale King, the ruler who built Hallownest. My mother, Hera, was the queen of Deepnest, a realm of spiders within Hallownest's borders. My birth was unusual. It was promised as part of a pact. My mother agreed to an eternal duty, to sleep as one of the dreamers, sealing away a great evil. And in return, she was allowed to have me.
That sounds both wonderful and tragic at once.
I spent only a short time with my mother before she fulfilled that duty and surrendered herself to an endless sleep. I never really got to know her warmth. And my father, the Pale King, vanished when Hallownest fell into ruin, so I was raised by the denizens of Deepnest and by the silent guidance of my father's legacy.
That's a heavy childhood, a princess without her parents, growing up in the dark tunnels.
It made me strong. The weavers of Deepnest, the spiders, taught me to spin silk, to be cunning and resilient. The motto was to become more weaver than worm, to surpass the power of my royal father's heritage with the skills of my mother's people. I learned to fight, to survive, and to protect. By the time I was grown, I carried a needle and thread as my weapon, and I vowed that Hallownest would not fall while I lived to defend it.
A needle and a thread, not the usual weapon one imagines, but in your hands, as the fans have seen, it's more deadly than a sword. They say you wield the needle with deadly prose.
Care for a quick demonstration, Leroy?
Haha, as long as I'm the target. Wow! Whoa!
Precision and strength. This needle has slain monsters many times my size.
Whoa! I do not doubt it. You're all solid, right? One blink and you miss it. That was incredible. Straight through solid rock. Hornet, remind me never to get on your bad side.
Just keep being polite and you'll be fine.
Politeness? I can manage. Can I ask, why a needle? When did you first find it? How did that happen?
It's not something I found. Not exactly. It was a gift from my childhood among the weavers. As the old saying goes, amazing things the weavers once crafted on their looms. So much of our history was spun upon their spools. A needle is more than a weapon to us. It's a piece of our heritage. The needle lets us defend and create. We use its thread to bind wounds, snare foes, even weave shields of silk. They even write of it as a long sewing tool, uniquely balanced for combat, and I won't argue. It's as light as a whisper, but strikes as true as any blade. My first needle was given to me as a child. At my naming ceremony, the Weaver Elders presented me with a simple wooden tool. When I was able, I hardened and honed it into steel myself, learning on the loom of life. It felt natural, like holding my purpose in hand. In the end, the needle and thread became an extension of who I am.
That's incredible. It really ties together your story and skill.
It always will.
Hornet, Silksong's launch has been absolutely phenomenal. On Steam alone, it hit a peak of 535,000 current players. On day one even, surpassing Battlefield 6 open beta with 521,000. Within the first week, over 5 million players worldwide began their journey in Falloum. It shattered records. Millions of souls guiding you through Falloum. It's almost crazy to imagine. How do you deal with so much attention?
Deal with it? Oh, Leroy, don't you know? Of course Team Cherry made me exactly this way. Look at me. From my fierce needle weapon down to these legs under my cloak. They aren't fools. They designed me to captivate. This cloak, or skirt if you like, is a secret weapon of allure. Trust me, it's not just decoration. Every curve, every flourish was chosen to be absolutely irresistible to fans. It's no accident millions are smitten. I might sound vain saying so, but, well, I am the princess, aren't I?
Godness, you're something else. With confidence like that, you could revile Marilyn Monroe in that famous breeze blonde dress scene. Except instead of a white gown, you've got a red cloak. And it looks even better on you. But seriously, you've got us all enchanted. Tell me, did the Team Cherry's designers have any particular inspiration when creating you? Was there some model or character they had in mind?
Honestly, not exactly. Ari Gibson, the co-director and lead artist at Team Cherry, pretty much sketched me out of whole cloth. In one interview, he mentioned that most of their characters start as quick sketches in his notebook, which he just drops into the game to see how it looks. And my first inkling of existence was in their 2014 Kickstarter for Hollow Knight. I appeared as a mysterious silhouette when the stretch goal was met, promising a second playable character named Hornet if the funds came through. From there, Ari and William, Pellin, the other co-founder, fleshed me out. They spoke of making me half bug, grounded in the insect world, so part bug, part something regal. I guess they just wanted a nimble warrior princess to fit Hallownest, with no real-life muse behind me, except the world itself.
So you literally sprang from their sketchbook and imagination? That's incredible. Do you know when this all started? Who was the very first person to think of Hornet?
Well, it traces back to Hollow Knight's early days. Team Cherry's just a tiny studio, Ari and William and a few friends. And around late 2013 or 2014, they were dreaming up the world. My name, Hornet, comes from an insect in their lore, but beyond that, they didn't take me from anywhere else. I first truly emerged as that secret Kickstarter reward. After the project succeeded, Ari and William refined me bit by bit. They've said they mostly designed everything together in a kind of on-the-fly way, so it wasn't like a single lightning bolt of inspiration struck, more that I grew out of their collaborative vision of Hallownest, and now Falloum. By the time my final design was set, they had given me this elegant cloak and those little horn-like mask spikes. But really, I'm just an embodiment of their creativity.
It sounds like your creators and you were made for each other. The fans sure got lucky that version included such divine company.
Thank you, Leroy. It's humbling. I never expected to mean so much, even to those outside our realm. But knowing you all cherish my story means the world. With every step into Falloum, I feel you and all the other players with me. I suppose Team Cherry hit the mark. I am quite proud of the way I turned out.
That's beautiful. The fans do care a lot, trust me. They are obsessed with you in the best way. Which brings me to some burning questions from those fans. Are you okay if I throw some at you? Even if they're a bit provocative?
I welcome any challenge, whether it be a duel or a question. Proceed.
Alright, here's one that's been making the rounds on the internet recently and really got everyone talking. Is it true that you are the reason Rockstar delayed Grand Theft Auto 6?
Delayed. What? I know nothing of this Grand Theft Auto 6 or these rumors you speak of, Leroy. This is the first I've heard of it.
So, Grand Theft Auto 6 or GTA 6 is a hugely anticipated game in our world, much like Silksong's in yours. Now, GTA 6 was originally expected sometime in 2025, but it's been officially scheduled for 2026. Some gamers half-jokingly speculated that Rockstar Games, the makers of GTA, decided to push back their release because they didn't want to compete with you and Hollow Knight. Silksong's that big of a deal even called a powerhouse title. In fact, one of your would-be competitor games literally delayed their launch to 2026 just to stay out of Silksong's shadow. So what do you say, Hornet? Did you intimidate GTA 6 into rescheduling?
I must say, I'm honored by the notion. To think a mere princess of Hallownest could influence kings of another world. Hear me, people of Earth. If Grand Theft Auto 6 was delayed on my account, I extend my apologies to its fans. And perhaps a warning as well.
A warning?
Only that Silksong will not easily be overshadowed. I have no quarrel with this GTA, but if our release dates had clashed, I wouldn't have backed down from the challenge.
Fighting words, you know? In the GTA universe, bullets and weapons are as real and deadly as in our world. Do you think you could really stand against the hero of GTA 6?
Leroy, I see your point. But if you're so curious, let me demonstrate. Stand up and watch closely.
Whoa, this is really safe?
Fear is a choice. Don't wrestle the rules of this world. Recognize them. They're patterns, not chains. Once you see the code, you can bend it. So, Leroy, treat this cave like a simulation. Use your imagination and manifest the deadliest weapon in the GTA arsenal.
All right. Concentrating. Wow! Is this even possible?
Now, open fire on me.
Wow, that was insane!
Land, what do you think now? Still doubt I can handle a bit of your GTA hardware?
Alright, you win this round, Hornet. I never thought I'd see the day a bug took down a machine gun with just a needle. Consider me truly impressed and maybe a little bit intimidated. You've earned some serious respect, okay?
I am glad to hear it. It seems the tales of Hallownest and now Farloom have resonated even here.
They certainly have. Alright, next fan question. And this one is more on the personal lore side. People are fascinated by your origins. They asked, Hornet's mother is a spider. Her father is a kind of worm god. So why is she called Hornet? Is she actually part Hornet? In other words, what's the story behind your name and species? Are you a spider, a bug, a mix? How do you identify yourself?
It's true. My mother, Hera, was a spider, the queen of deep nest spiders to be exact. My father, the Pale King, took the form of a worm, a great segmented creature, though he was something far beyond a simple insect. As for me, I suppose I am a blend in a way, born of spider and king. But my name, Hornet, was given to me not for any hornet parentage, but as a symbol. Hornets are fierce predators in the insect world, agile and relentless. My father likely chose that name, perhaps hoping I'd embody those qualities.
So it's more of a title or an emblem of ferocity rather than a literal species?
Yes, culturally, Hallownest's higher beings often bore names that signified roles or traits. My name is a promise and a challenge, to be as swift and deadly as the stinging hornet, and I've done my best to live up to it. Though, ironically, some who know my parentage do affectionately call me Little Spider. I carry my mother's legacy too, in my silk and in my 8 quick legs.
8 quick legs indeed. You move so fast in those fights that I bet many players felt like mere flies.
Speed is my ally, a spider's cunning, a hornet's speed. Why choose one when I can wield both?
Fantastic. Here's another that fans have been dying to know. What's your relationship with the knight? The little hero of the first game who, spoiler alert, turned out to be, well, your sibling of some sorts. How did you feel about the knight during your encounters? And how do you feel now after everything that happened in Hallownest?
The little ghost. That is what I called them. The knight and I share a father, the Pale King. So in a sense, yes, we are siblings, though our lives and purpose were very different. When I first encountered the knight, I sensed something unusual, a small, quiet silhouette wandering the ruins, but with an iron will. I tested them, even fought them, to gauge their resolve. With each clash, my respect for the knight grew. They achieved feats I thought impossible. They succeeded where many, including myself, might have failed. In the end, they saved Hallownest from the infection, at great cost.
The knight sacrificed itself to contain the plague, if I recall correctly.
Yes, my sibling paid the ultimate price to do what had to be done. I mourn them, and I honor them. Our relationship was complicated, part rivalry, part partnership. But above all, the knight proved to be a noble soul. I carry their memory as inspiration.
Some fans like to imagine you as a protective big sister to the knight. That sounds like that's not far off.
Perhaps not. I did feel a sort of kinship, perhaps even affection, though I'd only show it in subtle ways. In another life, maybe I could have guided them like an older sister, but the knight forged their own path, and I'm proud of them for it.
That's heartfelt. Thank you. Now, one last big question from our audience. And this one gets a bit philosophical, but I think it's perfect given your experiences. You have seen so much death and even experienced what might be called rebirth. How do you perceive death and rebirth? Specifically, considering your mother's fate, the knight's sacrifice, even the way in your games that heroes fall and rise again. What does death mean to you? And what is it like to face it and come back?
Death. Death has been my shadow since I was born. I exist only because my mother agreed to a form of death, the sleep of a dreamer, which is like a living death, a sacrifice. Hallownest, my birthplace, is a kingdom literally built on the deaths of countless little ones. My father raised an army of soulless vessels, hoping one would contain the infection. The knight, my sibling, was one of those, an empty vessel that found a will. They died many times in their quest, only to rise again from the nearest bench, driven by purpose. I've learned that in my world, death is not always final. Sometimes it's a transition, a change in state. The infection that plagued Hallownest was a death of the mind, turning creatures into husks. And yet, even in that, there was a sort of rebirth. The radiance, the entity behind it, was trying to revive itself through others. My mother died to seal the radiance. The knight died to contain it again. And with the radiance gone, Hallownest had a chance to be reborn from its ashes. Personally, I have come within a hair's breadth of death many times. In battle, I've been beaten down. I've bled on the cold earth of my kingdom's broken halls. Each time, I got back up. Was that rebirth? Perhaps it was sheer will. Perhaps some higher power decided my task wasn't done. When I was captured and caged, I felt a different kind of death. Hopelessness. The thought I might die in vain far from home. But breaking free of that cage felt like a rebirth. A second chance at life and purpose.
So, for you, rebirth is tied to purpose.
Yes, purpose. As long as something or someone has purpose, death can be but an interlude. The knight's purpose was to save Hallownest, and so even after falling countless times, they always rose again until that purpose was fulfilled. My mother's purpose was to contain the infection. Her death kept it at bay until the knight could finish the task. In my own journey, I feel that as long as I have a duty to fulfill, whether protecting a kingdom or helping others, I cannot afford to truly die. I will fight on or rise again until I see it through.
That is profoundly inspiring, Hornet, truly. It strikes me that in some way, this theme of death and rebirth isn't just in your story, but also in the experience players have controlling you, or the knight. Every time the player character dies in the game and respawns at a bench, it's a little rebirth in lore too. It's like the world itself refuses to let its heroes give up until a destiny is fulfilled.
Well said. And perhaps that's why so many connect with it. We all hope that failure isn't the end, that we can try again, stronger.
Hornet, thank you for sharing that. We've covered some truly heavy ground tonight. I think we're on a little break, don't you? I come bearing gifts from the human world, a local delicacy we call KFC. It stands for Kentucky Fried Chicken. Basically, well, pieces of fried bird. Care to try some?
This food is unfamiliar. It smells oddly enticing, yet unlike anything in Hallownest.
It's cooked chicken, a bird. Don't worry, no insects in there. We humans find it delicious. If not the healthiest fare, go on, give it a taste.
By the pale light, this is wonderful. There's a warmth, a blend of spices. We never prepared food like this in Hallownest.
I had a feeling you like it. First time for everything, right?
In my world, meals are often simple. Raw fungus, the occasional small creature. We never had oil or spice to fry meat in this way. And you say this is bird? One of those feathered beasts that prey upon tiny creatures.
A chicken, yes, a flightless bird that my people raise for food.
How ironic. In Hallownest, birds snatch insects for their meals. Now an insect princess dines on a bird. I can't say I dislike the turn of tables.
Revenge never tastes so finger-licking good, right?
If you mean it's delicious, then yes. Compliments to your chef, Leroy. This KFC is formidable.
I'll pass that to Colonel Sanders' legacy. Even cold cave damp fried chicken hits the spot after an intense heart-to-heart.
To think, a warrior princess sampling foreign delicacies in a place like this. Your world never ceases to surprise me.
And sharing fast food with a legendary protector in a mystical cave is a new one for me. Alright, we better save some for later. Now that our hunger is tamed and the mood is lighter, I'm curious about something, Hornet. Between all your battles and duties, do you ever get to relax? What do you do for fun, if anything, when you're not fighting for your life?
Fun. In Hallownest, fun was a rare luxury. But I'll admit, I do enjoy a good challenge. That's my idea of fun. A sparring match with a skilled warrior. A race across treacherous terrain. Testing the sharpness of my reflexes. Those things invigorate me.
Somehow I'm not surprised you find life or death fights fun.
I suppose it's my nature. But there are quieter joys too. When Hallownest fell silent after the infection was quenched, I sometimes wandered the empty city. I found a strange peace standing atop the Tower of Love, feeling the breeze and listening to distant echoes. In Deepnest, as a child, I would play little games of weaving with the silk spools, trying to knot patterns faster than the elder weavers. That was my version of play.
Weaving games, that's adorable. Honestly, the fierce Hornet raiding spider silk patterns as a kid.
Even a warrior has a childhood, Leroy.
I bet fans are picturing that right now and melting a little. One more fun question. Some fans have jokingly asked, do you knit? You have a needle and thread anyways in hand, after all.
I have repaired my cloak on long journeys. Does that count? My skills with thread are usually for combat or traps, but I did once knit a small silk charm as a gift for an old friend in Hallownest. It wasn't pretty, but it was sturdy.
Hornet, slayer of monsters, mender of cloaks, occasional scarf knitter. The multi-talented hero we didn't know we needed.
If this fighting business ever gets old, perhaps I'll open a little tailoring shop in Dirtmouth. Hornets, stitches. We mend what was broken.
Sign me up for a custom cloak when you do. Hornet, what you say is profound. It makes me wonder, how do you feel knowing that in our world many humans do not show such understanding? We often treat the insects around us as pests, squashing a bug underfoot or swatting a mosquito without any thought. Yet there are some among us who believe every life is sacred. In India, for example, followers of certain saints like don't harm no living creature, not even an ant.
Then I usually give some blood, say, to the mosquito.
Some monks even sweep the path before them so they don't accidentally step on the tiniest insects.
Your people are contradictory, to cherish and to kill so casually in the same breath.
It troubles me too. We've even woven those contradictions into our stories. In one of our films, Men in Black, a gigantic alien cockroach tries to destroy Earth partly out of revenge for all the bugs humans have crushed over the years.
I'm sorry, was that your auntie?
It's meant as a fantasy, but there's truth to that anger.
I cannot blame that creature for its rage. In Hallownest, even the smallest life had value, and the loss of it was felt.
And on the flip side, we humans sometimes make light out of insects unusual ways. There's a popular bit of humor going around from a famous actor, Ryan Reynolds. He joked, "I'm eating poop, can you believe it?" It was about a dung beetle in a children's story. We laugh, perhaps because we find the habits of some insects so strange, maybe even gross.
Eating. Feces. Your kind finds humor in the most peculiar places.
Guilty as charged. I suppose it's our way of dealing with what we don't understand.
Hear me then, Leroy, and any of your world who listen. I speak as a daughter of the insect realm, as a protector of those small lives you overlook. Each tiny creature you crush feels fear, pain, and loss ripples through their world, unseen by yours. In my world, I have fought to defend Hallownest and its inhabitants against great evils, but a careless human boot can do as much harm as any monster. You stride above us like giants, often unaware. To an ant, a human step is an earthquake. I do not seek vengeance, only understanding. If your kind could show a fraction of the empathy you give your own, if you could stay your hand and consider even an insect's life as having purpose, it would honor this bond between our worlds. I ask, not as a threat, but as a plea. Let not cruelty or indifference be the legacy of your kind upon ours. Remember that universe at our feet you spoke of, a universe of little lives. Treat them with care. In doing so, you honor both your world and mine.
You know, staying here with you, Hornet, I almost forget we're from completely different realities. You feel real, flesh and silk, humor and heart. It's incredible that through the art of games and imaginations, two worlds have truly intertwined tonight in this very real cave.
I feel it as well. Your world, this cave, it doesn't seem so separate from mine right now. Perhaps stories are the threads that sew our worlds together, even if just for a brief time.
Beautiful put. It does feel like some magic happened here in Hatta Caves. Our viewers are probably half wondering if they're dreaming, but I assure you, this is very, very real. Cold hard reality with a guest straight out of a fantasy. That's the magic of human creativity. Maybe a sprinkle of actual magic. By the way, Hornet, speaking of our two worlds connecting, I have some news from my side that might delight you. Your story, the adventure you lived through Silksong, has been nominated for one of our highest honors.
Nominated? What do you mean?
Hollow Knight Silksong is up for Ultimate Game of the Year at the 2025 Golden Joystick Awards, essentially an award for the best game of the year. That means the tale of your journey has been chosen as one of the finest gaming experiences of the year.
An honor. In your world. For my story.
Exactly, thousands of players and critics voted, and Silksong, your adventure is among the top nominees.
I am honored, truly, to know that the trials I endured, the friends and foes I encountered, have resonated so deeply in your world. It fills me with gratitude. Perhaps I should attend this ceremony of yours, though I suspect these golden joysticks aren't quite accustomed to guests from Hallownest.
Oh, I'm sure you'd steal the show, but even if you can't be there, every one of us will be cheering for you that day.
My thanks. Whether we win or not, the recognition alone is enough. It tells me my tale is seen and cherished.
Well said. Speaking of worlds blending, we're in a cave, so don't be alarmed if a bat or two pays a visit.
A creature approaches. Just a tiny winged thing. Old habits. Caves often hold surprises where I come from.
I'm glad it was just a bat. I wouldn't want to see what you'd do to anything truly dangerous that popped out actually. I kind of would, but for the creature's sake, maybe not.
Let's hope this cave's critters mind their manners then.
Agreed. Now as we start to wind down, Hornet, I want to ask, what lies ahead of you? After all this, Hallownest is safe for now. Falloum is the next great trial, but beyond that, do you imagine a life for yourself when there are no more kingdoms in peril? What would you want to do?
When Falloum's saga is concluded and my duty done, I would like to see Hallownest bloom again. Perhaps help rebuild it, if that is even possible. The ghosts of the past would need laying to rest. The land would need healing. Maybe I'd travel beyond my known lands. There are other kingdoms out there. I've heard whispers of distant realms. Perhaps some not cursed or broken. I carry my needle, not just as a weapon, but as a tool. Who's to say I couldn't carve out a new path that isn't soaked in blood? In a dream of mine, I find a small village, maybe in Falloum, maybe back home in Hallownest, free of monsters and infection. I'd build a home. I might teach the young ones how to defend themselves, how to weave silk, or even wield a needle. The skills I learned in hardship, I would pass on in peace.
That sounds idyllic. You definitely deserve that kind of rest and normalcy after everything.
Deserve it or not, I will earn it. One battle at a time.
I'm sure you will, and I hope all of us get to see that day, maybe in the future, game or story. Who knows?
If your world's storytellers will it, perhaps. Otherwise, you might have to imagine it. But I promise you this. If I do find that peaceful ending, I'll send a silk thread between our worlds. Maybe you'll feel it tug, a little signal that Hornet found her peace.
We'll be waiting for the tug on the thread. Hornet, this has truly been one of the most special experiences of my life. Thank you for stepping into our world, or perhaps allowing us to step into yours, here in these caves tonight. I think I speak for all viewers when I say this hour has been fascinating, moving and absolutely unforgettable.
The pleasure is mine. I am not used to conversation, let alone an interview, but you made it comfortable. Your questions were worthy of a warrior's spirit.
I try my best. This warrior here just led our hearts, instead of us, thankfully. To everyone watching and listening, I hope you enjoyed this incredible meeting as much as I have. We came to the Hatta cave seeking a bit of magic, and we found it in Hornet's story. And remember to check out Hollow Knight. Silksong, you won't want to miss guiding Hornet on her next adventure. It's characters like her that remind us how powerful and immersive storytelling can be. Hornet, any parting words for your fans and your audience before you return to Falloum or Hallownest, or wherever the winds carry you next.
To all who have followed my journey, thank you. Your world's attention has given mine new life. Fight with me just a little longer, and I promise to show you wonders and secrets worth the hardships. And never forget, brave souls, no darkness is endless, and even the smallest creature can change the fate of the world.
Beautiful. Thank you, Hornet. Travel safely between your worlds.
Farewell, Leroy. May your world find the light it seeks.
Wow. Folks, that was Hornet, fearless, wise, and even more real than I ever imagined. I don't know about you, but I'll be processing this for a long time. Thank you all for joining us on this unbelievable journey. From the heart of Hatta Caves, this is Leroy signing off. Stay adventurous, keep your spirit sharp as a needle, and until next time, good night.